Podcast episode 3, you heard me? Talking to my people. I got Cosby's with me. I got that DOC. I got Della Falk, call him B-Dot, and Young K-Dog in the building, man. We missing a couple of folks tonight, you know what I'm saying? But we gonna make it do what it do. Podcast PLOWBOI episode 3. You heard me? Kicking this thing off one time, closing out last time we got together, we had Cosby and K-Dog letting us know how they felt about how the vaccine came and brought COVID to this new place where we at. So how has it changed your life, Cosby? I think we left out on you, talking about how it's impacted your life, and now coming in full circle of now that the vaccine is coming to play, restrictions started to be lifted. You know, tell us about how things have changed, how things have remained the same, and where you think it might be going. Give us a little recap of that.
Well, I mean, for me, part of it was just me, my own plan was to kind of change, and COVID just kind of happened at the same time. Like I said, I finished school and shit, so I was planning on changing a different job anyway, but it kind of sped it up because I was working at the port, I was driving. COVID shut all of that, it shut all of that shit down. Then it's like you got the vaccine. I feel like what Doc has said about Trump, I feel like it affected the election. It affected the economy. It really affected the whole world. Now you got the vaccine coming out. You got people who get the vaccine. They got side effects. They like catching seizures. People, they doing paralysis. They got all of these different side effects. Then you got people who get the vaccine and they can still get COVID. So it's like, then it's like causing a divide between people who got it and people who don't. So it's like the people who got it, you know what I'm saying? They kind of like, well, y'all in public got it. They're like, y'all sheep, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Just as far as the world, you know what I mean? Like like, especially like in places like New York and California, it's just crazy. And some places you can't even go nowhere if you're not vaccinated still. So it's like, it's changing the whole dynamic of just day-to-day life. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's wild, man.
So speaking on directly how it's affecting you or how it has not affected you, going to you, K-Dog, you know, just talk about how COVID has impacted your life, and now that we got the vaccine, how has it changed in any way? Now that restrictions starting to be lifted, you know, more and more people getting vaccinated, how has it affected you particularly?
Being somebody who's actually had COVID already, I can say from the aspect of what it did to me, what kind of effects I had. First of all, I went and got tested because a good friend of mine tested positive, and I had been around him. So when he told me he tested positive, I said I needed to go ahead and get tested, you know. Got tested, it came back positive. I didn't feel any different from before I tested positive till after I tested positive. I still felt the same, but I did have a headache the entire time. But because of my health already, there was no kind of way for me to tell if it was COVID related or if it was just something that came from my prior health history. I definitely do think that it's wise. It's a wise choice for myself to go and get vaccinated. just because of my own health risks. So I can only speak on just myself, you know? I can't comment on anybody else. And then the thing with the vaccine and the reason why I'm choosing to get vaccinated is, like I said before, you know, my own health reasons for me to be able to protect myself from getting sick and having the virus as bad as it could be, or to protect myself as just being a carrier of the virus that may carry it to someone else that may get sick from it.
Word, word, word. Thank you for chiming in on that, dog. Look, I respect y'all both point of view, and coming from UK, dog, you know, somebody who's had COVID, you coming from a different perspective than all of us, because, you know, we speaking on it from a third person point of view. You speaking on it from first person. And, you know, I respect that and your decisions. I'm glad you pulled through that. And if you was asymptomatic, man, that's a blessing, bro, because they got a lot of people that it has affected differently. I see we got young Buckton joined in. He right on time, because we gonna touch on one of the topics that he brought up earlier this week. One of those things that he said was mainly one area of your life in particular you want to bring up to make adjustments. Keep it specific to one area. We'll start with you, Buck. Things that we can do specifically to help us fulfill our full potential. Like you said, now you said one specific aspect of your life. Chime in on that. What would it be? You in there?
All right, bet. So, man, like I said, bro, like it really is we got a very, very diverse group, and I see that like with a lot of like if somebody got an opinion, that we can all have a different opinion, a different outlook on one thing. So I'm like, well, shit. I mean, this thing, if we all could put our heads together and like say, hey, all right, I struggle with this. I struggle with, and it ain't gotta be nothing. It can be like something like this. I struggle with procrastination. Like sometimes, like I got so much to do to where like I don't want to. It's hard to use the word because I'm putting that shit off because I'm taking on so much. So like and managing my time where like I try to sometimes I take on too much versus get what I get like need to get done right now. Stop, knock that shit out, and move on to the next. Versus like trying to take on a whole bunch of responsibilities at one time and it's counterproductive. Like you don't really get a whole lot done. Like that's kind of what's I say that to say it almost kind of go hand in hand with the other subject I was talking about with the the smoke and the performance enhancements. Like, man, I've done all of them things. I've done those things just to try to and been around a ton of people that smoke weed every single day and stuff that and I watch them. I'm like, man, you're not productive. Like you think you're productive, or you got distractions. You on the phone, you wasting time. Like basically time management, like building my time management skills up and like not putting stuff off, getting shit done and putting the phone down. Like I know that phone is very, very distractive. And for me, like it's like I gotta have it on my person for work because I gotta answer calls, I gotta answer business calls. But at the same time, I feel like I could damn near like be a better person, like more spiritually focused, morally, and everything if I put that damn phone down. If I just got up in the morning, put my phone down, and just took off with my day and just let the day happen. And then I set a time like, okay, noon, let me check my phone. Okay, cool. This person called me, follow up with that. Versus keeping the phone on me all the time and like wanting to go to it and look at shit. It's a distraction. It's a big distraction. I feel like I could be a lot further in just so many things I do if I wouldn't fuck with that phone. Cause it's like sometimes I send a message and I'm right there waiting to see if they even when they gonna reply like or some shit like I'm like, man, I'm tripping. Like that's I done wasted 5 minutes. Like and you ain't one thing you don't get back time. Like we talking about COVID, we talking about all these things, but it all come down to time. Like we ain't got no but a limited time on earth. Really all we got is today. Because you don't know what's gonna be tomorrow. One of us might not be here tomorrow. So it's time. And I'm trying to like, instead of trying to make money, I'm trying to make time back. Like I'm trying to do that. Like fuck the money gonna be there. Like I can do that. But I need to quit wasting time. That's pretty much that. So
thank you for that input, homeboy. Look, I think time is a major factor in all our lives, bro, because it's priceless. It's something that we can't get back. You know what I'm saying? So speaking on that, specifically talking about putting the phone down, number one, that could be an aspect where you could gain time if you spend a lot of time doing that and managing that time much better. You know, B-Dot, tell me what you could do better in life that could make yourself more in line with your purpose. Buck touched on his time. Now you could take it any way you want to take it. In 2 minutes, tell us what you could do better in your life to fulfill your purpose.
Focus on less. What I mean by that is I feel like we live in a society where it's almost glorified to juggle a lot, to have 5, 10 things going on. So for me, zeroing in on less, you know, juggling less. And I know I've been living my life sort of that way for a couple, you know, for probably for the last 10 years, building and zeroing in on certain things and only focusing on those things. But when the question was posed, there's some things I can zero in even more so and cut, you know, and sort of like they say, cut the fat, trim the fat on other things that I haven't eliminated even within that last 10, 12 years. So for me, just zeroing in on less and putting an emphasis on certain things and getting away from others.
I respect that view right there, man. Look, keying in on less and focusing in on what is important in life will determine where you putting your time at. Back to what Buck said, you know, keying in on less, focusing on the things that's most important can definitely help us all improve our purpose, bro. Thank you for chiming in. Doc, DOC, tell me about it, man. Tell me about what we can do to help fulfill our purpose, my brother.
Shit, for me personally, bro, I think I can keep my ass out the casino. You know,
speak on it.
And I'm just losing too much money. You know, you win a weekend, next weekend they take that shit back, bro. So, and I was just sitting down there playing the other day, and I said, you know what? I need a hobby. I know my nephews like to fish. They like to fish on weekends and shit. You know what I'm gonna do? And I said this while I was gambling, bro. I said,
man, we lost.
What?
We lost your picture.
Back up.
Yeah, I had a phone call. I'm sorry, I had a phone call.
You back in there, go ahead.
Okay, what I was saying, what I'm gonna do, like on a Friday, instead of going to casino, I was gonna take the weekend and I was gonna devote that to my abs. I said, you know, my hobby gonna be, I'm gonna work on my abs, because if I get my abs right, I can have everything all together. So, and then by the end of the year, I have money in the bank and I have a small waistline. And there ain't no stopping me, bro. I have the holes, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? I have holes, you know, so that's gonna be my hobby, is to work on my abs. Get my abs
get it all, my brother. Hey, that's, you know, motivation
right. Y'all laughing and shit, bro.
Coming from one gambler to another.
I'm with it too, shit. What you mean?
I'm with the shit too, nigga. I'm on the same page. I'm on the same page.
I don't know, but I'm right on ass.
Yeah, bro. You know, niggas like to be a race car from Friday through Sunday. This nigga gonna be doing stomach crunches. I got an ab coaster. I'm about to put my ab coaster in my big truck. When I hit a fucking truck stop, that motherfucker about to be rolling. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, bro. And by the time December come, nigga gonna have a small waistline, about a 38, 36. And then I'm gonna have a little extra money in the bank and watch. You know what I'm saying? No stopping Big Diesel. You know what I'm talking about?
On the real tip though, cuz, hey, big up. That's motivation right there. Because back to what you know, Buck had brought up about time management, helping fulfill our purpose, and then what B-Dot brought up, speaking specifically about
and then one more thing.
Focusing
one more thing
on what's important. Go ahead.
The secondhand smoke, bro. The secondhand smoke, it ain't worth the little $200-300 that you'll win in a casino, bro. That shit's killing me, bro. I'm sitting on Saturday and smoke a fucking cigarette. I say, you know what? What the fuck am I doing in this raggedy motherfucker? Absorbing all they fucking smoke. I need to be crunching. I need to be walking. I need to be
Tell us how you really feel.
That's it. So that's it, bro. Fuck all that.
Hey, I respect it, bro. Spending your time wisely.
Yeah.
Like Buck brought up, time management. B-Dot, you said keeping it simple, man. Focusing on what's important, changing better aspects of life. And then DOC took it a step further, and he talking about specifically what he gonna work on. I know, Kenny, you brought up the phone, but I mean, working out, staying healthy, managing your time wisely, taking out one bad habit and substituting it with something wellness
Exactly.
to treat your body right. You know what I'm saying? I think that's definitely something to add to our purpose in life. One specific aspect, you know. Khabib, why don't you touch on it for us? What could change your life? One specific aspect could help you fulfill your purpose, man.
Man, David, I really feel like this was a great topic, bro. I've been dealing with this shit for like the past couple of weeks. Touching back on what you were saying about COVID, about how it changed your life. So now since COVID, I work from home, you know what I'm saying, doing insurance. Man, bro, that damn phone is an addiction. Just like weed, whatever, alcohol, crack, anything. And it's really worse because when you got a drug addiction, you got to go buy the drugs. Your phone right there in your hand, in your face, 24/7. And I'm telling you, bro, I be sitting at my desk doing emails, looking at, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever. Next thing you know, I just look at my phone and it'll be 10, 20 minutes go by. And I'm like, damn, I'm tripping. I try to hurry up and put it down, get back to what I'm doing. So it's like, it really catch you off guard. And it's like, definitely, I think we need to go back to pages, man. Like, go back to pages where somebody will shoot you a message and you got to check that shit and get back to them. But I definitely think time management, that's something I've been working on. I try to get up early. You know what I mean? I try to get up early so I can get a workout in, go run or do something. And then on like my rest days, I try to make sure I get in so I can get a lot of work done because I don't know if y'all know, but I wind up going back to school and shit now. So I be having to do that shit, having to read shit, then trying to check emails, trying to do this, do that. Then, you know, the kids running around playing in, you know what I'm saying, in and out the room, trying to, you know, then on top of that, trying to spend time with your old lady. So it's like I'm definitely trying to just get better at, okay, from 8 to 9, I'm gonna do this. From 9 to 11, I'm gonna do this. From 11 to 12, okay, I'm gonna eat lunch. From 12 to 2, I'm gonna do this. From 2 to 4 or 2 to 3, I'm gonna do that. And just get better at keeping myself to a schedule because like now I'm like, before, like I say, before COVID, I'll just get up, go to work, and I'll be at work. So it wouldn't be a problem like that. But now it's like, it's up to me. I got to be the one to say, okay, well, right now I got to do this. Right now I got to do that. Right now I got to do this. Right now I got to do that. And it's especially hard because, you know, my old lady, she working from home. I'm working from home. So it's like that, just that little, that space ain't there to where it used to be. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of make you miss going to work. It was this dude was saying like, it's kind of like a change. Like it used to be you would get up in the morning, get dressed, get ready, and leave. And then in the time between when you left home and got to work, you would get your mind right. Like you would listen to your music or whatever you do. And by the time you got to work, you was in work mode. Then you would work all day, you got off, you go home, and in between that time, by the time you got home, you in home mode and you ready to like relax. But working from home, man, it's like, it just all meld together because I can easily just, you know, I mean, I'm finna go watch TV.
That time management go back to you, man. Let me move it on to K. But you're right though. That time management, dog, that's something, you know, starting with what Buck said, and similar to what B-Dot brought into the table with keeping it simple, man. You know, time management, dog. That's gonna always help us fulfill our purpose. Because if we ain't doing what we need to be doing with the time that we have, then we ain't fulfilling our purpose, man. You know what I'm saying? And it can all be done better. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad y'all chiming in on that. K-Dog, tell us what it's like, man. What that Basil like?
Okay, so we all done got older, man. I'm 40 years old now. I done played enough games in this life, you know? So what I think I need to dedicate more time to now is my spiritual life. How do I get closer to God? Because me getting closer to God is going to bring me closer to having eternal life eternally in heaven, you know? I don't want to sit there and say I messed around enough in my life and gave up enough chances that God gave me to where I just played around with them, you know? How do I in my life become closer to God? How do I in my life bring my family closer to God? How do I in my life bring my kids and my wife closer to God? How am I a leader of my home? And Garrett, you were talking about the purpose of our lives. I remember in high school, we had to read a book called The Purpose Driven Life. And I looked it up just a second ago. And on the front cover of that book, it says, "What on earth am I here for?" You know, think about that. What on earth am I here for? My only answer to that is, and if I don't get right with God and make my life better than what it has been in the past, and I may not be living this life going to the heaven that I want to go to. So that's the only thing I can say is just I got to get my spiritual life a lot closer to God so that I can fulfill my plan.
Amen. Cause I really ain't got nothing to add to that, bro. Y'all basically that couldn't have went in better order right there. Kenny kicked it off with the topic. B-Dot, you kind of simplified things by taking it to the extent of focus on really what's important and not try to put your mind on everything at once, you know. And I think, Kenny, you touched on that. You know, you got your phone in hand at all times because you got your business is wrapped around in that, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Doc talked about how the outlets we need while we working and while we going through our everyday life, you know, take a hobby, take time out. You know what I'm saying? Kabis talked about how he trying to manage his time with working at home. You know what I'm saying? And how it's so much different from him now that COVID started. And K-Dog, you didn't brought it to full fold right there, talking about what's really and truly the most important purpose of all our life. And that's to get back home from whence we came. You know what I'm saying? That's really, you know, where I want to spend my time is getting to where I really want to spend my time. And where you just talked about doing that, getting that closer, tight-knit relationship with our creator, because that really is, I think, fulfilling our true purpose. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to the issue at hand when we talked about brother Sherman this week. The cornerback used to formerly of the Seattle Seahawks. I think his last team was with Doc's 49ers. So we're gonna let Doc start this one off. You know, see what he got to say, man. You know, we're not trying to bash the brother, man. We all made mistakes. And I know the media tried to play this thing up and blow it out of proportion a little bit harder than it should have been. Because I really don't think anybody was hurt other than him probably from fighting the police. But, you know, we're just gonna let the facts play out. But we're gonna tie this into a conversation we had this week with excuses and accountability. You know, some of us tried to make some excuses for what went on with Brother Sherman. Some of us wanted him to take accountability for his screw ups. We're gonna give 1 minute to each person and we're gonna touch in on it, Doc, talking about Richard Sherman and how it relates to the excuses and accountability.
Well, first off, I think he's washed up and he realized it in his mind. And then the nigga be out there drinking. And then, you know, when you get older, y'all gonna go through this. You ain't gonna be able to do the things that you can do. He can't cover like he used to cover. So let's say he out there drinking. I heard he got into it with his uncle. He wanted to whip his uncle's ass. Everybody went through that. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody went to go whip somebody's ass and banged on the door, bro. You know, I'm not gonna bang on the brother, bro. It's really ain't an issue for me what he done. But I think I figured it out. I say, man, he's washed up. He know NFL is tough. It stands for not for long. And I think he realized that. And nigga have a bad night. 49ers don't want him no more. It's already been said they cutting him. And so he don't know where he going. Nobody's asking for him. So I think that's all it is.
Word.
That's all it is, bro.
Go ahead and jump on that, Buck, from father to son.
Man, you know, that I see there could be some truth to that same statement. You know, like he could very well feel that way, but I'm a add my take on it, like, it's, man, that's why you got to go to court, because that's why you got to have a judge. Like, all the facts got to be brought out. Everything got to be put on the table. Everything, like, all we see is a media clip. Like, I done seen a lot of people go to jail or be put in a spotlight for a story that totally, like, ain't got shit to do with how it looked. Like, it could look so many ways. It could look a certain way and be a totally different picture. I done been in this situation before. So I know shit. That's why the Bible say, don't bear false witness. Motherfuckers, like we say, motherfuckers say shit all the time. A mouth gonna say anything. Like, till you get the facts out there, it's hard to even make a sound, rational decision on what he did. It's his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't really my business. I don't really care what he did. It don't matter. That shit don't affect me one way or the other. Because
excuses and accountability. You're right, man. You're never gonna have the ability to lay down true judgment on anything, because you too will be judged at the end of the day. You know, we don't make him, nor do we break him. We just chiming in on what we thought may have or may have not transpired, how it relates to basic of excuses and accountability. You know,
but I'm gonna say, look, let me say,
whether or not he was right or wrong, that ain't for us to judge. You know what I'm saying? That ain't for us to say, because like you say, all the facts ain't played out. But you want to come back with something right there?
Yeah, just one quick thing, man. Like, it's easy for, like, whoever else to judge him. But man, if you didn't grow up with this dude, you don't know where that dude come from. You don't know what he saw. And people, you could say excuses don't matter. That's like a white person telling a black person that's in the hood, oh, you need to go get a job. You need to go do this. Motherfucker, they don't even know nothing about no pipeline job. They don't even know nothing about this kind of shit. Like, they live in the hood every day. They ain't had nobody to. I had the luxury of I see my uncles Mac and them go offshore. My dad worked. Shit, my dad been driving a truck for 20 years before I ever started working. Gramps, he worked at a post office. All my aunties and uncles are successful and do well with their life. Everybody, I feel like our family is blessed beyond measure. So It's easy for me to say, oh man, he stupid. He should have done. But man, I didn't grow up like that. Same situation. I don't know where these people come from. So that's another reason. I don't know. He could have had this kind of problem all his life. Niggas be like that. Some niggas just tender behind females. Like, yeah, I've seen it, and then don't make them
let all the
like
facts play out, baby. Let all the facts play out, man. Della, you got anything on that? You got anything on it, homie?
Who's me?
B-Dot.
Oh yeah. So I think I mean, you know, for me, what Doc touched on is key, and I think a lot of NFL people have been highlighted on it recently, but it's everybody really. And I mean, you can like Doc said, everybody went through something similar to that situation, but everybody in the world that has ever existed has gone through something that's called transition, and from where he was to what he is heading toward.
That's exactly right, bro.
He in the midst of it. And so I think Richard Sherman's situation, all the domestic stuff, we can judge that, and that it's irrelevant really. But the one thing that he's struggling with is what it's highlighted with NFL players specifically, but it's transition from being one man to a new man. And we're gonna all go through that. And it could be a job. You know, you could go from one job to another. It's a transition you got to go through, and how you handle it. It could be an illness that you're dealing with. How you handling that transition?
That's good points, man. That's real good points y'all bringing up right
there. Facts right there, bro.
Y'all definitely touching on the issue at hand. Not about bashing anybody, not about judging the actions, just about how it relates to, you know, what like Kenny brought up. We've all had that night. Doc said that too. You know, unless you walked in a man's shoes, and none of us played in the NFL. You know, I know, Doc, you played at a very high level, so did you, B. And the thing is, you know, transitioning, if that's who you identify with, how you adjust. You know, Buck had to make an adjustment earlier this year when he left his job and then, you know, full-fledged into his business, you know. Think about that. That was a transition, you know. That don't define you. Your career is not who you are. What you do is not you necessarily as far as what you do to make money. Your character and everything else you do speaks volumes outside of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, this is just me chiming in on it, and I'm taking my little 30 seconds. You know, not to judge Richard, like Doc said, we of all people I know about our drunk nights and what they can turn into. So not judging him one bit. I just think that, you know, accountability goes a long, long way, man. And we could say it's because he was in the NFL and don't have a job no more, but that ain't no excuse. And we could say that he grew up with not watching his family do what they were supposed to do. That ain't no excuse. All we need to do is try to learn from brother, because I learned this. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. A fool never learns. So Kabish, you can go ahead and chime in, man.
And it's something that I've been like dealing with in my own personal life, just for me. So two things. Judge not lest ye be judged. And why do you look at the mote in your brother's eye and not see the beam in your own eye?
Word.
So just for me personally, I think it's two things. You got excuses, and then you got the reason why. I feel like when a person make an excuse, they like, oh, well, it's not my fault. Or they say, well, it's okay, or it's all right, whatever the action was. They say, well, he did that, but man, it's not really his fault, this and that, third. I'm never gonna say what he, like, for me, what he did, it was like, that shit was lame. Like, you going, beating on the door, doing all of that shit, whatever, that shit lame. That's just the end of the story. But also, I'm not gonna make an excuse, but that's the reason why. If you ever been to the drunk tank, that's the reason why. Not to say it's okay or excuse the behavior, be like, well, that's all right, or this, that, and the third. But if that same scenario would have played out, if that person wouldn't have been drunk, they wouldn't have acted like that. You know what I mean? So like for me, I'm definitely about accountability. That's a thing, that's a big thing for me. Like just in my own personal life, trying to, you know, put myself where I want to be. And like for Sherman, I feel like Doc is absolutely right. It's a thing of, like you said, what you do is not who you are, but it become a part of your identity. So like to him, I'm a football player. So if you can't play football no more, who are you? Like a cop. I'm a police officer. If you get off the police force, who am I? So it's kind of like he got like a crisis identity, like, and that's to me, just in my personal opinion, I feel like his old lady, like, well, show's over, bro. Like, that's it. Like you done, you washed up, I'm gone. I'm gonna go find me somebody that's still getting.
Possible,
Man,
possible.
yeah.
That could have been definitely one of the main things that caused it, bro. Like you say, you touched on alcohol playing a part in it. You touched on his identity, bro. Y'all all bringing up good points. Let K-Dog close this one out so we can move on, man. But K-Dog, what you think about the thing what happened with Richard Sherman, bro?
Just to chime in and continue on what Kabis had said about just it not being him, something, you know, like the alcohol was inside of him and made him change. This comes from out of the Seattle Times, and it's actually I quote from Ashley Moss, who is Sherman's wife. At this time, we're not going to make any statements except he didn't harm anybody. Moss said, "My kids were not harmed in the incident. He's a good person, and this is not in his character. We're doing all right. We're just trying to get him out. I just want people to know that no one was injured." So she's, you know, not taking up for him, but she's saying that this isn't his character. You know, this isn't him. You know, like Doc said, and all of you have all said, we've all done something out of our character before. We've all made that mistake. We've all done something that people looked at us and said, no, they wouldn't do that, or he wouldn't do that. All I can say is, man, I just pray for the young man, you know, and I hope he sees the light at the end of the tunnel and knows the change he needs to make in his life to where he doesn't have this happen again.
There you go. Hey, man, that's what we can learn. We could all learn from people's mistakes, man, and just knowing that this is not immune to anybody. This dude a millionaire, famous, you know what I'm saying? Just, it really don't matter. You know, we all gonna face adversity in life, and how we deal with it really will define us. You know, when you're standing up on top of the mountain, everybody looking up at you, it's cool. It's cool, right? But when you fall, you really learn to see who your friends are, who really got your back, and how you bounce back is the true character. Anybody can smile when everything is up, but when you're down, how you bounce back is gonna define you. So we're gonna close up this last little thought, fella, and we're gonna start off with who started this one. Buck started this one. So tell us what you think. What we was talking about Bill Cosby, man. I think Doc wanted us to talk about that. Anybody had some thoughts on old Bill, man, or Huxtable, the Jello pudding pop getting relieved? Doc, tell us what you think, man. Give us something to laugh to, bro, on the way out.
Oh man, I don't know, bro. Shit, man. I think, bro, no, he shouldn't have never been locked up. These hoes waited what? How many? 30 years, bro?
Yeah.
Before they fucking decided to come on, make a harassment claim. They waited too long. And then it was some more ugly white bitches. So you know what? Fuck them. You know. Free Bill. I'm glad
Free Bill, baby. Kenny, holler at me, Buck.
Man, they toe up for that, man. They should let that man alone, bro. Like I'm 100%. I mean, hey, look, bro. Niggas put shit in bitches' drinks all the time. Like I seen it in Lafayette in the club. Like
you can.
They do that Lafayette. Come on, be that.
But they be they do that shit, man.
Tell me. I'm about to mute this boy. About to snitch. I'm about to mute this boy. so tell me what you think. Beat out on our way out, man.
Nah, I think Bill. It's what Doc said. Like the time, you know, and I mean also the time that it happened. That was the popular drug. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying right or wrong. That ain't for me. Those people were in that situation. The drugs of choice in that high society at that time was what he was using. It's like if they were using that stuff today. And I mean, I wasn't there. You know what I mean? But we always talk about it on text. If it's meant for you, if your path, if that's part of your path, that's what it's gonna be. And we could sit down and say they did Bill wrong, but obviously that was part of his path, what he had to go through in life. But he ain't the only one suffering. All them chicks, all those women, all those people that were involved, they suffering. They just not highlighted. They not exempt. They not cut off from having to suffer. Cause you know that stuff eat at your conscience, man. When you do something dirty to somebody like that, it'll eat at your conscience.
Facts, man. Look, we don't walk in their shoes, like you said.
Yeah.
And we don't know what really went there because we wasn't there. Like Buck said, we wasn't there. We know factors at hand. This man was a millionaire. He had strings he could pull to get these young ladies what they wanted in life. And you know, my whole thing is like Doc said, you coming back with noise 30 years later, you know what I'm saying? Well, you got to look at what they had to gain by doing that, as far as what they had to lose by not coming out when it actually happened. You know,
I'll say this too, just real quick.
Go ahead.
It's very similar to the Mike Tyson situation. You know, Mike Tyson situation that with Robin Givens at that time of the night, at that particular event in both of their lives, the pageant girl, the richest young man, like he said, he was a bull. And my point is, he went through that. He went to jail. He came out, and right now, society see him as a better man. I mean,
everything happened for a reason. Huh?
It's messed up, but where's Robin Givens right now?
Yeah.
We don't even hear nothing about her.
Everything happened for a reason.
So when Tyson magnifies after he went through all that, which sucks. I'm not advocating it. I'm not justifying it. It sucks that he had to go through that. But in the end, where Robin Givens at? Mike Tyson got a whole new life. That man doing 10 times better.
Right.
So it came back to bite an ass.
Touch on it, Cosby.
Samson and Delilah, Adam and Eve, King Solomon, what's her name?
Bro.
David and Bathsheba. Mike Tyson got caught up with a rape charge. Tupac got caught up with a rape charge.
Monica Lewinsky.
You doing good? Monica Lewinsky. Whenever you doing good in life, the one thing that'll bring your ass down faster than anything, a fucking female. she like, to me, it's just still going on right now. Drake got a line in the song about, I got some pills in the Xanax bottles. I don't take that shit, but you do. It's like them, to me, in my opinion, they was partying with Bill. Hey, Bill, can you give me some Quaaludes? Can you give me this, that? Oh, you know, I got you. I got you.
Put it on the pudding pop.
He cutting the check. As soon as them checks stop coming,
it's the pudding pop.
Hey, as soon as he quit cutting them checks, oh, hell, Bill, what's up? Where my money at? Hey, I ain't giving you shit. Okay, I got something for your ass. Remember you gave me them pills? And it's the way the law is written. If a man, like this, if a man and a woman go out drinking, the man got 6 drinks, right? The woman have 3 drinks. If that woman is drunk and that dude have sex with her, that's rape, man. Because that woman is inebriated, she can't give consent. She could be charged with rape. If she called the police, say,
boy, he's giving knowledge. He giving knowledge, y'all. Y'all better listen. That's that boy giving knowledge. Look, from day one, Kabi, from day one, like you said, bro, it's been happening since under the apple tree in the Garden of Eden. It's been going down. We gotta wise up, man. And as Bill just showed us, even though he walking today, he free, as he just showed us, your past can haunt you. Your past can haunt you. So be mindful of that. K-Dog, touch on it, man. We're gonna close up.
I really don't have much to say about it, man. Y'all covered it all. Y'all gave good points, you know.
So what you think? Bill ought to be locked up, or we ought to be free?
No,
man, I need some
man,
free Bill.
I agree with Bill being out. You know, I agree with Bill being out.
All right, let it be known.
I go back and I think about it. You know, when we came up as kids and we all watched the Cosby Show, Heathcliff played a part in everybody's lives because they saw their dad in him on the Cosby Show. I remember sitting back and watching them shows and always saying, "Man, that's just like my daddy." Or that was just like my mama in seeing Felicia Rashad, you know. So I go back and I just, like Kabi said, you know, maybe they asked for it and wanted the pills at the time, and then he stopped paying the money, and they knew how to get at him, you know, get at the man in his pockets. But I definitely believe he should be free right now.
Hey, I want to say something about that too.
Go ahead.
Hey, nigga, I done been in that situation before. A million times.
Like, now. It's not PLOWBOI 6ix9ine now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it just, you don't have to, you can be in that situation. You ain't got to give them nothing. Like, chicks will get themselves fucked up, or they get on them bars or something like that, pass out. Like, I done smashed chicks and been like, and I'm knowing everything is going down, and I'm thinking they do too. Like, you don't even know, and then the next day, be like, oh, damn. And it's like, what? You did it? Oh, no, I'm thinking you didn't. I think you really trying to set me up.
Right there.
But I got text, but it don't never turn into nothing. But let's just say I turn in a goddamn $1 billion bill.
There you go.
Like, it's the person. They done been through most. Them women, if they've been having sex this long, they done got done wrong. They done got dogged by somebody. Somebody done done way worse shit to them to fuck with their mentality or they stress or they hurt than what Bill did. That was happening. You done got dogged 1,000 times after that. So
in a roundabout way, tell me the moral of the story.
Man, shit. Screwdon already warned you.
Screwdon already. Bitches ain't shit. Remember that. Straight up. Hey, closing out the night, fellas, man. Thank y'all for all joining us.
Let me add a little bit to that too. But like he's saying, real fast, like he's saying, it don't have to be nothing. You don't have to do nothing because a female will lie. They'll say anything. You know what I'm saying? Tupac, when he called his case, he wasn't even in the room. She said it was some other dudes in the next room, but he let it happen. And he wound up. You know,
it'll happen to you, cuz. Hey, you better be wise with it. We didn't have enough examples. There's nothing new under the sun, dog. All this stuff that's going down has already been spoke on. We just gotta be wise with it. DOC, tell me one time, man, in a 5-second spiel, you watching the Olympics?
Hell yeah.
What's your favorite event, man?
Man, you know that shot put, that's me all day, bro.
Throwing that thing long, huh?
Shot put and discus. I like this small ball.
I know your brother, your brother Big Mac watching them gymnastics and that equestrian.
Nah, he watching the pole vault. That nigga pole vault, bro.
He was pole vault? I
Yeah, that
ain't even
nigga
know
was
that.
good in high school. That nigga was pole vaulting by
I ain't even know that.
pole vault
K-Dog.
by 12
K-Dog.
foot, bro.
K-Dog. You watched the Olympics, bro?
Yeah. But
What's your favorite event?
I'm into seeing the gymnastics, swimming. That's about it.
Olympics. I'm boycotting the Olympics. Team USA lost to Nigeria. They ain't letting ShaCarri run. Fuck that.
You ain't watching, dog?
I ain't watching.
The basketball, the men's lost today,
Shit.
bro.
Team
The
USA
men's
lost.
basketball
If
lost.
if they let ShaCarri run, I'm gonna watch it. I'm boycotting. Fuck
Free
it. They ain't
ShaCarri.
let-
Man, fuck ShaCarri. Straight up, real talk, man. I ain't
B-Dot,
rolling
you
no more
watch
with
the
ShaCarri.
Olympics, bro?
Yeah, I'm
Let
watching.
her smoke. Let her run. Let her.
But that's why I sent y'all that picture of the pole vault that I met, man. Cause
Yeah, she from Lafayette, huh?
Mac did. Yeah, she from Lafayette. They got another chick from Rain. They got another chick from Rain that throw the javelin, Doc.
Give her a shout out.
They got another girl from Rain, and that
Give
girl.
them Louisiana people a shout out, baby. We in the Olympics too, you
Yeah,
heard?
text me when she get ready to
somebody else
throw,
from
bro. I
Lafayette.
want to watch that shit.
But what's your favorite event, man?
Man, I'm rocking with the 100-meter dash and the USA. And so you got Johan Blake, and you got the USA. And
Shouts
Johan
out to
Blake
that
was the closest
USA,
thing. Johan Blake was the closest thing to beating Usain Bolt. And if the record get broke this year, he can do it. Like you might watch history. Like they keeping it quiet. Usain Bolt ain't saying a lot, but Johan Blake is on his heels.
Is Usain Bolt running this year?
No, he out. He been retired. He been retired a few years by now. Yeah, he done.
All right,
but it's the dude that was right behind him. Johan Blake
it's gonna
still
be
running.
hot the next 2 weeks, man. We gonna tune back in. What's that boy name again from US? In the 100?
What's that? What's this dude name? Bromell.
All right, we gonna tune in, man. Look here, PLOWBOI Podcast 3, over and out.
Yeah, you were born with dirty hands. Yeah, you a proud boy. You're freaking silly, boy. Just trying to make you understand. Yeah, you a proud boy. You're freaking silly, boy. Just trying to make you understand.